Team of the round time. The final round of pool games. So the last time I'm able to pick from 16 teams that take part in each round of games, isn't it? 4 have rest weeks. So yeah, 16 teams. The last time I'm able to do this. So there was some really tight calls in a lot of positions. I found it really difficult. So as ever, please leave your comments. Tell me what you think, who you would have picked in your team of the round. Give the video a thumbs up and hit subscribe while you're there. I'm in Paris currently, but about to go and I'm on my way down to Marseille ahead of the quarterfinals this weekend. So, team of the week, and starting with, let me move over there, get right out of Andrew Porter's way. He had a great game against Scotland. What a player. And he's answered a lot of critics in terms of scrummaging. And that's one area where Scotland are quite good. And Andrew Porter up to the challenge and had another really solid game. He is my loosehead prop in the team of the round. As for hooker, I was very, very tempted to go for Dan Sheehan. He was fantastic as well. Showed what Ireland have been missing without him. Malolo for Samoa was good, but come on, a little bit of romance. I had to go for Mike Tadger. What an absolute warrior. What a win that was for Portugal. And every time you looked up, that guy was hitting something in a heroic defensive effort. So Mike Tadger, well done. You're in my team of the round. And at tight head prop, Thomas Francis. Ben Tamafuna for Tonga was really good again, putting another big 70-minute shift. Thomas Francis was excellent for Wales. They stuttered a little bit at times, but Thomas Francis got himself a try and looked good as well. So, yeah, he's in. As for second row, back to Ireland and Ian Henderson. He's putting his hand up for selection, isn't he? We'll wait and see what the extent of James Ryan's injury is. Injury to his hand, wasn't it? Or am I confusing the injuries with James Lowe and Mac Hansen? And anyway, they've got a few injuries, Ireland, but this is the great thing about this team. James Ryan goes out. He's been fantastic this season. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's taken his rugby to another level. And then he's out. Ian Henderson's in. And apparently Ian Henderson was in just on merit. And he rewarded, well, he paid back the faith that's been shown in him with a really great performance against Scotland. And his second row partner, again, Theo McFarland. One of the best players on the pitch in the England-Samoa game, playing against a load of his Saracens teammates. He was fantastic. All-action player. Love Theo McFarland. Into the back row. And Shannon Frizell. Well, he showed what New Zealand were missing when he wasn't available to them. The go forward he gives them. He's going to be a massive difference maker against Ireland this weekend. He's a big, big focus for New Zealand, winning that gain line, just knocking 7 bells out of the opposition when he gets the opportunity as well. Shannon Frizell at blindside flanker, at open side flanker. Tommy Rafel of Wales, excellent game. And bearing in mind they've got an injury in the back row in Taulupe Faletau. This is one area of strength for Wales, and in a crowded field, Tommy Rafel is really putting his hand up for a selection for the quarter-final as well. Could have mentioned Nicholas Martins for Portugal was great. Charles Olivon. Fritz Lee for Samoa was brilliant. Saginadze for Georgia had a big, big game. Lots of contenders. Tommy Rafel takes it for me. And at number 8, no question, Gregory Aldri. Oh my goodness me, what a player. What a player. He was imperious against Italy. Just makes good decisions. Like, he makes really complicated things look really easy. And just one of the best rugby brains in the world. He's great. Scrum half, Jameson Gibson-Park was superb, but I've got to give it to Marquez of Portugal. My goodness me. I mean, for one thing, just having the cojones to stand up and take that kick, especially when the shot clock was already, like, a minute of it had gone, and they moved where he was taking the kick from. All that pressure, all that weight of history on his shoulders, and he delivered. But it wasn't just for the kick that I've given him. I put him in my team of the week. He was faultless. He just did not make any errors. His service at scrum half was superb, and there was, like, tap backs from the line out, and he would just clean it up. I thought he was excellent. Well done. Into the fly half position, Lima Sopawanga for Samoa was fantastic, but I was there on Friday night in Lyon. Matthew Jalabert, outrageous. Set up 3 tries, including an outrageous crossfield kick, scored one of his own. He is box office, and that's the highest compliment you can pay Matthew Jalabert. France are not missing Romain Ntamack. He's amazing. Johnny Sexton was great as well, just as a little mention. On to the wings. I found this really, really, really difficult. There's so many good wing performances. I've gone for Matteo Carreras. Hasn't got the cutout part. Anyway, I've gone for Matteo Carreras for his hat-trick. Absolutely electric. It's great to see that he's delivering in that really important game against Japan on the promise that he showed. There was a lot of excitement about him coming into the World Cup. He is a box office player. Storti of Portugal was so good. Lester Fainga Nuku of New Zealand had a great game. Wong of Samoa had scored a couple of great tries, should have had a third. But yeah, Matteo Carreras, Luis Rees-Zammit as well, another winger contender. It was a less crowded field in the centres, actually. Wingers, there was loads of players standing up for selection. Centres, I didn't think there was... Some of the big guns didn't have their best games. Bundyaki was good, but not great. Jonathan Donty the same. And even though Anton Linnett-Brown started at 13, as you'll see in a minute why, I've shuffled him inside one, because he can play 12. I've shuffled him inside just because I thought he had a really, really strong game. In that match against Uruguay. But a big part of the reason why New Zealand managed to nil them is because of this guy. His huge defensive work. So, Anton Linnett-Brown, fair play. You're in. Alongside Gary Ringrose. This is why I had to move Anton Linnett-Brown in, because I really appreciated his performance. But Gary Ringrose, wow. Nothing gets through him defensively, does it? Like that, people talk about that being the most difficult position on the field defensively. Gary Ringrose makes it look easy. He slots out onto the wing and looks great. And just the glide, the way he just finds space and finds time. He's a wonderful rugby player. So Gary Ringrose is in. And on the other wing, Damien Peno, the one winger I didn't mention ahead of Storti and Rees-Zammit and Wong and Fainga Nuku. Damien Peno is ridiculous. He's a freak. Got to be like one of the hardest men to actually pin down and tackle in world rugby. I love watching the guy play. He's amazing. And to round off the 15, DMac. I would start DMac against Ireland. I love Bowden Barrett, but my goodness me, DMac is hot at the minute. He's red hot. Just finding space, making things happen. So, I mean, it's what a brilliant problem to have if you're New Zealand. But I would be picking DMac. This guy was sensational in that game last week. And whenever he gets the opportunity, he just makes things happen. And I've had people in the past saying, maybe I should grow my moustache, because I've had people saying I look a little bit like DMac. I get Michael Hooper as well. People saying I'm like Michael Hooper's... not so in shape brother. But there you go. There's my 15. Tell me what you think about those. Any you disagree with? Anyone I've missed? That's what the comments are for. I'll be reading them. I'll get stuck in there with it with you. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for your support.